Okay, so quick update on where we're at. This episode we're going to look at the wheel arch and the inner wheel arch for the red soft top TR7. After the last episode, I had a look at what I could do. We tried to see if we could turn the engine over, and it was completely seized, but we didn't actually have good ratchet set there for that, so we didn't have a socket that fitted or anything like that. So we tried towing the car with the Land Rover, and the car just rolled even when it was in gear, so it would seem that the clutch is seized or fused to the engine, so the engine's not turning over, and then we can't turn it over manually either. So and then we also couldn't find the VIN anywhere, so the VIN plate had been removed. So since then I've managed to find the VIN number by joining the TR7 Owners Club on Facebook, so I had to join Facebook for that. And having done that, Chris Smith helped me get the VIN number, so we've applied for V5. So hopefully that'll be good. So my aim is to actually, I've got to work out how I switch the cars around and things like that, but I will bring the hard top down from my parents, and I'll work on that in the short term, or over the next couple of years, and then I'll move on to the soft top afterwards. I won't ditch the soft top. Now, in order to do that, I want to get to the soft top sort of to a sensible place to stop, so to speak. So the panels that I've bought, I sort of want to get on and things like that. So I want to I want to repair the inner wheel arch and finish doing that. I want to get the sill on. And in order to get the sill on, I think I have to fix the rear wheel arch, not just the inner, but the outer as well. And then I also want to get the floor panel in. I'm going back up to my parents in about 5 weeks, and so my aim is to try to do stuff before then. So in the short term, I'm going to continue on the soft top, and then I'll move over when I've worked out how I'm going to store the soft top and bring the hard top down. So that's the plan. This episode is going to be about the inner wheel arch. Spent the last half hour, possibly longer, looking at this wheel arch, trying to decide what I'm going to do. So clearly I've decided I've got to come back to this. I can't just leave it. So we're going to deal with it next, as in tomorrow. We'll start on it. I've been picking away, and you can see how much has disappeared, so I'm really worried about it in general. Even if I do everything, will it be okay? Anyway, we're going to go for it, and the plan is, this might change by tomorrow, we'll get these lips off here first, because these are clearly part of something else. So we'll take those off, get them out of the way. Then we're going to cut down and down here, and we're going to put in a piece across here. So this lip here will go, and we'll weld it in along here. And down and down. It'll be a flat piece, so it won't meet the curve on the inside. Okay, so this curve will have this gap in it, but that's okay for now. So that will then give us the strength in, hopefully, this panel. Once we've got that in place, we're going to deal with this wheel arch, the inner wheel arch, and for the top section we're looking at, because there's a curve here like that, there's obviously a curve like that here, we've got a curve upwards, and then we've got a lip with a flange underneath, so we've got another one there. So we've got all kinds of bits going on, so we're going to break it down into parts. Once we've done the engine bay bit, we're going to do a curved bit across the top. to make that secure. Then we'll do a piece up. It's got a narrow flange here, which then widens and comes all the way up from here to here. So we'll do a piece that comes in there, and again it won't have the nice curve, it'll be a bit sharper, but it should do the job in terms of strength. Then we'll move on to this plane and do that, and then we'll worry about the rest of it at that point. So that's the plan moving forward for this section. It's interesting, someone's been welding at this before, we can see it just along here. Okay, so there's been work done here in the past. And I guess my concern here is if this is where the suspension's all held, if this is moved, and you can see that's moving slightly, maybe you can't, but I can. If this is moved, then what does that do to my suspension and, you know, just steering and all of that? And I'm not an engineer of any kind, so I really don't know. I don't know how much give it has. But we'll see. The battery gave out on my other camera, but so we got, I guess that's part of the fit chin. Alright, and I've primed it, and I'm going to stop whilst I'm just confirm I'm happy with the next steps. But I think my next step is I'm going to cut out the flange part, the vertical part of the wheel arch. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to do, well actually it's not there on the other side because there was none of it, and I'm going to, this is the top part of it, so I'm going to cut here and weld a flat vertical piece on the as my vertical bit of that wheel arch, so it won't have the nice curve, but, and we'll get that pushed in, and then with it flat it'll be easier to do this section here afterwards. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to deal with the wheel arch, so I'm not going to deal with the engine side of it. Okay, I'm just dealing with the wheel arch side of it. When I've got the engine out, then we can deal with the rest of it, but for now we're going to go at it like this, I think. But I'm going to have a little think about it and then decide. Okay, so off camera I've done this piece. This piece has a curve in the bottom so that it fits with the wheel well. Alright, and what I'm going to, and I've got this piece folded over. Now this clearly comes over too much at the moment, but not too worried about that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tack weld these two together now. Okay, then I'll pull it off the car again and weld them together. And then having done that, I'm going to paint them. Actually, I think I might just try to squeeze that in a bit better first, just to get that flush. But that's the principle. Here we have it. I've just finished welding it, so it's probably still quite hot, but along here it's just welded. Along this side I've dressed it so that it will fit snugly. I've got a mark here for where it comes to, so I know tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zinc primer this side, because I don't know why I use zinc primer. If it's welded off, I might as well just put any primer on. Anyway, we're going to prime it on the other side at least to protect it. This bit will be viewable because it's going to go into the wheel arch, and so I'm going to be able to prime that later still. This bit I won't be able to, so I'm going to get that done. I'm going to then spot weld in there, so plug weld in fact. So I'll do a bunch of holes for plug welds. Okay. I don't need to cut the wheel. The wheel arch should not be fitted anywhere in here. It's not connected along here. So I'm going to have to cut the wheel arch just here on this flange. Okay, and I mean I could actually cut this off a bit to make it come to where the other one did, which was here. So I could ease that up, which probably makes more sense. And so we will then, once it's welded in to this, then we will go down, cutting out and welding in around here. And we're going to obviously cut it along here a bit so that we're on the where it flips over, and then we'll be able to do separate bits along there. So that's the idea. So for now we're just going to prime this and stop at that for at least for now. So I've drilled out a lot of spot welds or plug welds for that, and I've trimmed this off here. So we're going to cut this now here, alright, so that we can take that bit of the wheel arch off. We'll then fit this back into place. We will plug weld, and then we'll come out to cut the rest. I don't have room to video the work being done here, but that's it welded into place. I've got a few gaps here where I don't actually have metal on the back yet, or I'm going to be replacing it, so but most of that is good. So what we're going to do now is this is where the change in curve takes place, is just here. So we're going to scribe a line across, we're going to cut out, and we're going to cut into the wheel arch along there. So we cut out that section of the wheel arch, then we'll clamp it down and weld that in. There it is, welded in. I need to come back and touch up. There's a few pinholes here and there. This bit here will get cut out because it's such bad, but we've got a few pinholes, a bit here. But other than that, and I need to check the other side to make sure it doesn't look too bad there, but that's in place. I forgot to drill spot welds holes here and here for the bars that come out from there, so I need to do that as well. But we're going to stop for now, and we might come back to it again later today, or we might stop for the day. But don't like to overdo it, I get tired, and when I get tired I make mistakes, and that's what I want to avoid. So I'm quite pleased with how that's gone so far. I guess in some ways that was the easier bit, but it was also quite daunting because it was such a huge hole. So yeah, we'll move on from there now. And we're going to stop this video here, as we've got quite a lot more on the wheel arch, and we'll come back to it next time.